Back here on TYT Sports around the Premier League, where I just basically shoot the shit with one of my good mates, Brian Davis, the True Geordie. We are going to talk about this weekend's upcoming action because the internationals was good, and frankly, I just don't want to touch on the fact that Scotland missed out on another huge competition. So, frankly, devastated about that. But we'll move on and we'll talk about Jurgen Klopp, manager of Liverpool. A great signing. I think both myself and the Geordie agree with that. For them, probably the best signing they've had in many years since Luis Suarez, I would say. And they're coming up against a tough opponent this weekend, the Geordie, playing against Tottenham, a team that has just beaten Manchester City in previous games and looking to kind of regain form. What do you expect to see from Jurgen Klopp in this first test?
Well, it's a lot to ask for him, isn't it? To just come in and wave a magic wand and instantly turn Dejan Lovren into Nesta. You know, I'm not expecting too much from him straight away, but he's definitely going to have them up for it. They're all going to know my place isn't safe now under Jurgen Klopp, and they're going to have to play high pressing football. That's what he likes to do, get right up the pitch, get stuck in. And Tottenham are really good on the ball. I like that technical ability, but under a lot of pressure, it wouldn't be surprised if they broke. If the Liverpool players take on board what he's saying, that depends on that, really. What do you think is going to happen, mate?
So, I mean, tactically, it's fair to say that Liverpool have been pretty shite defensively recently. Or not just recently, since under Brendan Rodgers, they've never been consistent apart from that miraculous season with Suarez heading the team. But defensively, you look at someone like Jurgen Klopp who had, I would say, a big name in Mads Hummels, but he built that defence around Mads Hummels, and he had Subotic come in there, and he had just a fantastic back four that all were in sync with each other when Dortmund went to the Champions League final, when they won the Bundesliga, before they were handpicked by Bayern Munich. And that is what I want to see from him. I want to see him build some defensive chemistry. Far too often you'll see Dejan Lovren try to be a hero and dive in when he doesn't need to win the ball. And it's something that I think is just, it's in his core that he just thinks that that's a good decision to make. Whereas I think a good manager, whether you drop Lovren and you bring in someone else, like I think Skirtle's a good defender, but he's not a defender that's going to take everyone around him by the scruff of the neck or by the ruggedness of their balls and say, all right, lads, we need to sit back here. We need to not dive in against good attacking players that Tottenham have, like Lamela, who will just sell you if you dive in, like Eriksen, who can just thread a pass through the eye of a needle. And you need to just sit and trust that as a back four, you're all understanding each other. Because I think he will go with a back four. And I just think that he needs to build on that defensive chemistry. And that's what's going to help Liverpool move forward. I mean, I hate to be so cliche and quote the best American overused quote of all time, that a great offense is a good defense, or whatever the hell it is, and you turn it around. But I just think that they need to really work on their back line and help building that chemistry and then push forward.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that really came across in Jurgen Klopp's first press conference was very much, it's a lot simpler football than what people make it out to be. Mm-hmm. You hear people use the big words. It's just like, look, let's just keep it simple. And I think that's what he's going to want to tell people like Lovren, like Skirtle, who do tend to overcommit and dive in and try the spectacular. Mignolet, the goalkeeper, really needs to be sat down and taught to keep it fucking simple. And one thing that Klopp's style tends to do when they do press so high, Dortmund, is when teams do break against you and do manage to get past the high pressure style, because they tend to have like three men around whoever's got the ball at any time a lot of the time. So when you do get past that, you're going to need a good back four. And Liverpool just haven't got that right now. So if he can just get them all, walking in the same direction for a start, that would be a good idea. But what I am worried for Liverpool, because I think to myself, I'm not sure if Klopp actually knows just exactly what he's working with yet, but I can guarantee you by the end of the season, he's going to know what they've got.
I could just picture them. You're talking about synchronised walking. I could just picture them setting them up like an army and just go, left. All right, let's go right. And this actually poses a funny story that I have. When I used to play back in Scotland, our manager, because of how out of sync our defence was, he tied this massive rope. I'm talking about a long rope round the back four, so that if the left back moved up a little bit, he'd drag in the left centre back, then he would drag in the right centre back, and it was a good defensive movement. I tried to install it here when I came to America in my college, and some of these guys were like, "What are you doing with this rope, man? Like, what is going on here?" And I'm like, "Just grab an end of the rope, mate, and fucking move when everyone's moving." That's how it worked out.
Christ.
So let's see if Jurgen Klopp takes the rope movement. So that's what myself and the True Geordie think about this weekend's action with Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool travelling to White Hart Lane. But Jack, from Spurred On has joined us here to give his thoughts on this. So Jack, take it away.
Klopp's a good manager. He's got he's got a great pedigree. He's well known for being a good manager. The only thing is, he's not managed in sort of 4 or 5 months. So there's a bit of a problem there to start with. But when a manager comes to a new manager comes to a club, there's a lot of the players will respond positively to that, and they'll be trying a lot harder to impress him, to probably get into the side in future games. But I think Spurs are on a roll at the moment. They've got a good group of young players that are playing confidently. You've got the likes of Dele Alli, who's just got his first 2 England caps, and well deserved, contrary to what a lot of people are saying.
But I mean, in standard TYT and True Geordie fashion, we don't want to have any bullshit here. So let's just go to our predictions. What do you think is going to happen in this game? Because I've got mine, but I want to hear yours first.
Is it at Anfield or is it Tottenham?
It's in Tottenham. Tottenham are at home.
I've got a feeling that Liverpool will get at least a draw. I think a draw. I think there'll be a few goals. I think they'll get a draw, and they'll look generally a bit better.
I hate to just go ahead and agree with you because I know most people want some disagreements here, but when you get 2 footballing minds that think the exact same way, I think it's going to be a draw as well. I think it might even be a boring 0-0. I know that actually could be taken as a victory for Liverpool because not conceding, especially against a team like Tottenham who just smashed Manchester City, that has to be looked at as a victory. You go to White Hart Lane and you can come away with a goalless draw.
I'm not sure I agree with you on that one though, mate. I think, and we'll find out who's right, but Klopp strikes me as the type of man to play aggressive football. Mm-hmm. So I think it won't be a 0-0. I think there'll be some goals.
I think he's going to be an aggressive manager, but then he's going to take one look at Dejan Lovren in training and then look at his bench and he's going to say, who the fuck have I got to bring in here instead of him? We need to sit back here. Let's park the bus. All right, so back to Jack. Jack, what are your predictions ahead of this weekend? Do you think Tottenham will get the win, or do you think a new, rejuvenated Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp will come away with the victory?
I'm confident that Spurs can get the win. I don't want to jinx it, but I think Spurs are in a good run at the moment, and they can get the 3 points. I think if it's going to be a really close game, possibly a draw, but I'm going to say that we're going to win this one 2-1.
We want to know what you guys think in the comments section below. Both True Geordie and TYT sports fans, let us know what you think about this weekend's action. Will Tottenham take all 3 points, or will a new, rejuvenated Liverpool go to White Hart Lane and come away with all 3 points? Make sure to subscribe to the True Geordies YouTube channel and the True Geordies gaming channel. Fantastic 2 channels over there. And as always, come back here to TYT Sports for more around the Premier League.